It's that time of the year again, where players go from good to even better. For some players, it seems like they already give 100% in the regular season. But when they visit the playoffs, they crush these numbers. They average more points, more rebounds, more assists, and somehow turn into a literal basketball god. Take Jimmy Butler for example. This man managed to drag his 8th seed Miami Heat to a serious win over the heavily favored first seed Milwaukee Bucks. His numbers in the regular season are nothing compared to his prowess in the playoffs. But more about that later, because Jimmy isn't the only player. So today we're going to cover multiple NBA players who turn into a whole nother beast when the playoffs begin. But first, we have to talk about AD. Anthony Davis is one of those guys. He has playoff averages of 30.5 points, 12.7 rebounds and 2.5 blocks per game. These stats are all higher than his career marks in the regular season. Same goes for his true shooting percentage. Maybe it's because he shaves his unibrow when the playoffs begin, who knows. Unfortunately, in 2015 and 2018, this playoff AD wasn't enough for his team's success, because in these years, the over 60 win Golden State Warriors came knocking on the door and didn't ask for permission to come in, as they stomped their way to the NBA Finals. However, in 2020, Anthony Davis's performances did pay off. The big man again increased his level of play in the playoffs, both on offense and on defense. On the defensive end, AD gathered block after block after block. And on offense? Come on, you know what's gonna happen. When LeBron throws a perfect lob and AD is standing in the paint, what are you gonna do? Run? Damn right, that's exactly what I would do. Ultimately, Davis's playoff mode ability helped him and the Lakers to win an NBA championship in 2020. It even pays dividends today, as the Lakers are looking strong in the 2023 playoffs and defeated the Grizzlies in the first round. But I'm not gonna make a case for the Lakers winning this championship, so we better move on. But seriously, just look at AD in the playoffs. It's absolutely beautiful.
And will it get in? It'll be Anthony Davis. And the buzzer. Yes! Yes! Oh! Anthony Davis comes through at the buzzer. He's got Davis on the log. 2-point game. Two quarters of play. Take it and make it. Anthony Davis breaking it off on Ed Davis.
Do you know what else is beautiful? If you could subscribe to the channel to enable your playoff mode. Honestly, it would help me out a lot. But now, let's move on, because Kevin Durant is another one of those guys. KD isn't just one of the greatest postseason performers of all time, his dominance in the finals is also almost unparalleled. Over the course of 15 games, KD has averaged 30.3 points, 7.7 rebounds, 4.5 assists and 1.5 blocks, with a 67.4 true shooting percentage. These stats are insane, even for Durant, because his career average for field goal percentage is just shy of 50%. Do you see the difference? Conclusively, KD also has the ability to turn on God mode in the playoffs. And this was always the case, since Durant started to show enhanced playoff stats with the Thunder, his first team he visited the NBA playoffs with. Back then, as with AD, it never fully paid out, since his team couldn't hold up to his standards and never won a championship. Durant gave his everything to win a title with the Thunder, but despite his inhuman level of play in the playoffs, OKC didn't have the team. They added Russell Westbrook, and yeah, that guy averaged a triple-double for multiple seasons, but he unfortunately does not have the ability to turn on hacks in the playoffs. But KD's dominance doesn't end here, because in 2017 he decided to join the super team of the Golden State Warriors. So now you would think that KD could just lay back and watch his elite team get another ring, right? Nope, scrap all of that. Durant did what he does best and enabled playoff mode. As a result, he led every game in the NBA Finals in scoring, and finally was the reason why LeBron couldn't surpass the Warriors anymore. Did you ever wonder why Stephen Curry never had won an NBA Finals MVP award until 2022? Kevin Durant was the reason. Just look at this guy.
Conference. Oh, beautiful! Twice. Take a look at Kevin Durant. The first time blocks it, slaps it again.
Not scoring yet.
Durant in full flight.
𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐢𝐘𝐻�10 said, "I'll give it up to you because you have an angle."
You think Durant has been frustrated and
comes down and just pulls up and knocks it in, but at the other end.
If you are still watching, then you better continue, because we're getting closer to discovering play of Jimmy Butler. So as you can see, if a player has the ability to consistently go beyond his limits in the NBA playoffs, it most of the time results in success, mostly meaning winning a championship. But unfortunately, this doesn't apply to every player, and Paul George is one of them. We all know that PG is a very talented basketball player and consistently puts up great numbers. But not many people know that he actually flourishes in the playoffs. Why? Because he never won a championship. The playoff P moniker took a bit of a beating with back-to-back first-round exits by the Oklahoma City Thunder, but on balance, Paul George's career playoff box plus minus still tops his regular season mark. He did enough with the Indiana Pacers to warrant inclusion. Over his last 4 postseasons with Indy, George averaged 22.4 points, 7.6 rebounds, 4.7 assists and 1.8 steals per game while shooting 38.4% from 3. Paul George is definitely pushing P in the playoffs. All of these numbers exceed his regular season stats. Why is that? Because he is hungry. PG wants to win a ring, and he's one of those guys who is able to push himself and his body to complete destruction, just to give the best performance possible. Therefore, we can add Paul to our list of players who can go beast mode in the NBA playoffs. Need any proof? He helped push the most famous and intimidating basketball team in the world, the LeBron-led Miami Heat, to the brink. Oh, and just check out these highlights.
Pat Beverly, the Clippers recycle. George with the handle, the scoop, and the score.
The senior get to the middle.
Or Lou Williams or George can get to wherever they want to go.
George on the pull-up, nails a three.
But when we talk about players who improve when a championship is on the line, we also have to examine the interesting case of Draymond Green. Draymond received plenty of praise and adoration for his regular season play, including 5 All-Defensive selections, 3 All-Star nods, 2 All-NBA honors and 1 Defensive Player of the Year award. His career averages of 9 points, 6.9 rebounds and 5 assists per game provide a good illustration of his well-rounded contributions to the Warriors dynasty. They pale in comparison, however, to what he's done in the playoffs. The averages bump up moderately to 12.5 points, 9.3 rebounds and 6.1 assists. Furthermore, his box plus minus goes from 2.8 to 4.9. That's a leap. What's more, Green has felt like the last man standing for the Warriors on more than one occasion. These performances may be lost to history because of the outcomes of the contests, but Green deserves credit for his fight he showed in Game 7 of the 2016 finals, as well as the entirety of the 2019 finals. Regarding that game, Green posted 32 points, 15 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals and a blistering 95.5 true shooting percentage. As offensive superstars Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson struggled to find any rhythm in a game that turned into a typical finals slugfest, Green kept the reigning champions in the boat with his trademark intensity and drive. Finally, we know Draymond Green as a loudmouth, someone who is known for trash talking and for making a lot of noise. But he's allowed to, since he backs it up with numbers. Green is no NBA superstar, but on the threshold between just talking and actually performing, Draymond is on the positive side. Especially when shit hits the fan, because every time he visits the playoffs, he adds some fuel to the fire and consistently ends up performing better. And even if his team can't win, he makes sure to give the opponent everything he has.
Morris's pool was adjusting. Morris.
Valanciunas won a foul. There was a lot of contact on the way up.
Green with the runway. Look out! A mammoth hammer.
As check back in the game, here's a drive by Green. Got it right around
But we can't make a video about players who improve throughout the playoffs without mentioning the king himself, LeBron James. Some may try to sow a little doubt in LeBron James' playoff accomplishments by citing his longtime presence in the Eastern Conference. In that case, feast your eyes with LeBron's basic numbers over the course of 239 playoff games. 28.9 points, 8.9 rebounds, 7.9 assists and 1.8 steals per night. Or, if you prefer, his finals numbers: 28.2 points, 10 rebounds, 7.7 assists and 1.8 steals. There may be an argument that Michael Jordan's playoff peak was higher, but there simply isn't one to suggest anyone has been more prolific than LeBron. The numbers he has stacked up over nearly 2 decades are unbelievable. And even when it comes to peaks, King James has some talking points MJ might not be able to match. For example, he beat the 73-win Warriors. Sure, Draymond Green's suspension helped, but knocking off one of the greatest regular season teams in NBA history has to count for something. But I'm not here to make a GOAT debate over LeBron or MJ. All I want to say is that in the regular season, LeBron is a beast, but in the playoffs, LeBron is something else. I don't have words for it. Maybe you do. Sure, the king only has a 3-6 NBA Finals record. But who even managed to reach the finals 9 times? I could make a whole nother video only talking about LeBron's achievements. But today we just want to mention one crucial aspect about his game: his playoff performance. When the playoffs begin, LeBron flicks a lever in his head and starts playing basketball on a level which we think sometimes isn't even humanly possible.
Brilliance of LeBron James is again shining brightly. LeBron James is locked in.
James, he's in the zone. Clear the lane for the team.
His basketball brilliance on full display once again.
Legacy for LeBron James.
We have one more person to go before talking about Jimmy Butler. But this list just wouldn't be complete without Kawhi Leonard. We know this rather quiet guy for his defensive dominance, his huge 11-inch hands, and his horrible laugh.
I don't even know where you're sitting at.
But not many people talk about playoff Kawhi, because this guy prefers taking action over talking. When the playoffs start, Kawhi gets hungry. He proves to anyone what he can do without even trying to. His only goal is to win the current series, and this amount of focus enables him to deliver godly playoff performances. Just look at this clip, for example. It might be familiar.
Of the inbounder here if you're Philly.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
Finally, we have to talk about Jimmy Butler, because he is another one of those mindset warriors. What's special about him is not his abilities as a basketball player, but his willingness to play until he passes out. When the postseason begins, we can witness Butler's tenacity, his relentless drive, and of course his improved stats. This rare skill of his to push past pain and exhaustion surely bears fruits for him. He managed to carry the Miami Heat to the finals in the 2020 NBA playoffs, led it to a Game 7 in last year's Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics, and now he beat the championship contender first seed Milwaukee Bucks as the 8th seed in the 2023 playoffs. This man is crazy. Playoff Butler is one to be feared of. Although Jimmy never won a ring, I'm sure he will in the future. What's your guess? Write a comment if you like. But now that we have talked about incredible playoff players, the question remains about who will win the 2023 NBA Finals. So check out this video, since I dove deeper into some teams' chances of winning. You can go now, since this video is over. Seriously, what are you waiting for? I'll see you there.